BSR Pockets, BSR Hot Rod, BSR Momo, BSR Jova, BSR Scar, BSR SR5, Eddie D, featuring BSR Wings, Bubba J, Vince Conway, BSR Rugrat, Gear, Big Vito, Palmion, Randy Sewing, musical guest, BSR Mayhem, and your host, BSR Texan. Ladies and gentlemen, BSR Texan.
Well, it wasn't 3, now it's a 1.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Spotter Stand. Coming at you live once again. We just finished racing at Bristol this past week. Also a dirt race at Fonda on Wednesday night. Hope everybody's had a good week. Looking forward to Easter coming up this next week. Tonight we got Hot Rod in the booth with us, Palmian and Rugrat all here joining us. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing good.
Well, let's jump right into this week's racing. We're going to go straight into Wednesday night's dirt race. Cup Series was off, so we did run at Fonda in the dirt, and looks like I got the pole somehow or another. Oh, that's right. Larry wasn't able to qualify. That was it.
Yeah, I won the heat.
Hot Rod did pick up a bonus point for winning that heat, though. Who was second place in that heat? Who got that other bonus? Gear. So Gear and Hot Rod both with a bonus point Wednesday night for first and second place in the heat. And Hot Rod did come out with the win. That is 2 wins out of 3 races this year in the dirt. That's a pretty good record. You can see Pockets took the win at Springfield. But Hot Rod bringing it right back. Second win of the season in the dirt series, which I'm sure is going to have him at the top of the points. Let's go take a look at our race results from Wednesday night's race at Fonda.
Yes, Hot Rod wins. Texan second. Mayhem with an all-scheduled appointment show up. Finished third. Gear fourth. And Eddie D rounded out the top 5.
Gear and Eddie D both bringing it home in the top 5. And you led a ton of laps, 69 laps out of 80. That's
100.
100? Was it 100?
Yes.
Yeah,
60
100.
and
Okay.
30 is 90. There's somebody missing.
Mayhem led 1 lap.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what it was. Yep, Mayhem. I missed it.
Yeah, I spun out in that race, and the leaders were coming, and I didn't want to wreck you, so I just got out.
I was wondering why you left that race. You were running pretty good. You should have just stayed. Yeah, I mean, heck, that's what happens in the dirt. Somebody spins out, and somebody else can't avoid them.
Yeah, but I was in that turn, and I didn't want to wreck you guys out with leading and stuff, so.
I think Hot Rod was far enough in front of me. He'd have probably been the only one you got, and then maybe I'd have had a chance to win that. So I really wish you had stayed in there.
That's what Pablo was trying to do when he spun. He was hoping that I got it to him, but I got it time.
No, you tended to heed my warning. It was Texan, however.
Oh,
I was shaving paint off of my car.
Absolutely, I did that because, I run in car, and with that wall right there, I could hear you saying I'm down low, but I didn't know where on the track you were down low at, so I'm coming around the corner and literally there you are. You're sitting right up against the wall. Luckily, I was able to barely, I think I did shave some paint off of your car and mine because I just barely missed you.
I brushed the backside of his quarter panel. I know I did. I heard it skids.
Let's go take a look at how the points currently
Yeah,
look in this dirt series.
definitely different going from a wheel you're used to going to one that you're not.
That's right. You just swapped over to a G27, is it?
Yes.
Once you get used to that wheel, you'll like it. I had the same trouble when I switched from the Sidewinder force feedback wheel, which is the same type of wheel that Pomian's using right now. I switched from that to the G27. It took me a couple of weeks of racing to really get used to it, but I love it now. It's a ton better. So it looks like Hot Rod is sitting in the lead, only 6 points currently over myself in second place. Gear Jammer moved up 3 spots to take over third, only down by 13. And we got a tie for fourth place between Eddie D and Bubba J, both back by 14 points. And Rugrat sitting right behind them in sixth place, down by 20. Look at that. Pomian, Rugrat is ahead of you in the dirt by 2 points.
That's fine. She is the dirt queen for a reason.
That's a good one.
It's all right, Texan. By the end of the season, she'll be up there ahead of you, too. It's okay.
She probably will. She probably will. I wouldn't be surprised.
And what track are we going to next week?
Orange County.
Orange County, that is this coming up Wednesday. While the other series will be off, NASCAR is off. Well, NASCAR is off anyway, but their schedule was to be off this next week for Easter. So Thursday night, Friday night, those nights will be off. I believe we are planning a fun run
On
Thursday
Yeah.
night at Michigan. So make sure you show up for that. Michigan's a great track to race at. Big, wide, fast track, a lot of room to race. And there's usually some good side-by-side racing there.
Yes, lots of fun there.
That's a fun run. I guess I'll jump in.
Absolutely.
That's Thursday night, Rugrat.
And I'm off Thursday, so I can get plenty of practice.
There you go.
So we go back over to the schedule here. So you see we are at Orange County this coming Wednesday, the 8th. So a couple nights from now, we will have another dirt race at Orange County. So let's move over to...
That's a nemesis track for me, Kilo. That's one I kind of struggle at here and there. So you can keep it off the wall and stay out of that gap. Maybe you can gain some points back.
We'll see. I'm gonna have to do everything I can to at least try to get a bonus point in the heat, because that's, there's no points for leading the lap, no points for winning the race. It's all about where you finish, and the only chance to get a bonus point is first or second in a heat race. So I'm going to have to see what I can do about getting me a bonus point there and then trying to finish ahead of you in the race. Even if I don't win, if I can at least finish ahead of you, that's accomplishing the goal anyway.
And I'll make it tough, though. I guarantee you that.
I see Gear Jammer out there in the chat. He needs his new paints. You painting him some new cars, Gear? Larry?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I just haven't got that far yet.
So let's go over, take a look at Thursday night Cup Series. We ran Thursday night at Bristol. So we are now past the halfway point. We have run 8 races in this first segment. Total of 13 races. That just leaves us 5 races to go. As we said, Thursday night we will be off this coming up week, and then the following Thursday when we go back to racing, we will be at Richmond, another short track. Richmond, not quite as small as Bristol, but still another short track. Richmond ought to be a great race. This past Thursday, though, in the Cup Series, it was Mayhem that took the pole, and it looks like myself, BSR Texan, took the win at Bristol. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race results from Thursday night's Cup race at Bristol.
Yes, Texan with the win. Momo second. Hot Rod third. Mayhem fourth. Eddie D rounds out the top five. Mayhem led the most laps. He must have been in trouble there at the end.
Yeah, 118 laps. That's a lot of laps. Again, looks like he dominated that race for the most part. Momo also led quite a few with 44. I only led 16 laps. That I remember the end of this race. This was actually a great race. Myself, Momo, and Mayhem were doing quite a bit of battling and swapping spots most of this race. And I think it was like 2 laps to go. I ended up passing Momo on the outside to take the lead and was able to hold on for the win. That was a hell of a race right there. Momo was doing everything he could to try and get that bonus point for this Cup Series, but uh, I don't know if it was I had pitted and maybe had tires on the last yellow flag.
Yes, we did. Me and you pitted and got tires.
Oh
I
yes,
think
and
we taped too.
yeah, I actually tightened my car up quite a bit. I think
That's what it was.
yeah,
That's right.
I took some. I made several changes. I took a half a pound of pressure out of the right rear tire. I took about 20 pounds of wedge and put about 20 pounds of wedge into it, and also took off 5% tape. All of those tighten the car. Just one by itself will tighten the car up a little bit, but I did all three of them. And yeah, it was nice and snug. I could turn it off the corner, didn't have to worry about getting loose. I could get back in the gas, didn't have to worry about spinning out. And that's the only thing that I think I was able to pass Momo out there on the outside. Once I got above him, his car was a little loose on the bottom. And of course, you have to lift a little bit not to push up into that car coming off the corner. So, with the tires and the changes I made, that's what did it, man. That's one great thing about this game, being able to make changes uh, in the pit stall while you're pitting, just like the real NASCAR guys can do. Sometimes that's what it takes. I know that's what it took for Mayhem when he won that Cup championship. The last race at Homestead, his car wasn't that great. He was struggling that whole race at Homestead, and even after I blew fourth gear. uh, it was looking like Momo was going to win that race. And Mayhem made some changes to his car on one of the last pit stops, and all of a sudden came in. Momo ended up winning that championship, or Mayhem ended up winning that championship because of those changes in the pits. So sometimes a little work on your car during the pit stop is all it takes to make it just a little bit faster and get it driving right. So let's go take a look at our standings here in the Cup Series. 8 races in. Looks like I've stretched out a little bit of a lead over Hot Rod. It looks like several drivers moved up a spot. Pockets was absent from racing this week. He wasn't here Thursday night or Friday night. So Hot Rod moves up to take over second, down by 24 points. Mayhem in third place, down by 29. Palmian, look at there, fourth place, down by 46 points. And Gear, rounding out the top 5, down by 50. It's not bad, Palmian. With only 5 races to go, you stand a pretty good chance of picking up another bonus point by being in the top 5 at the end of segment 1.
I've got some stiff competition on my heels, though. I got Gear right behind me. The Eddie D stands a shot of making up some good points. He has some good finishes.
Yeah,
We've got the veteran in there too. It's definitely going to be a fight.
yeah. With just 5 races to go, you got. Looks like several. I think you got a big enough lead over Eddie D. I don't think he's going to be able to get into that top 5 before the end of segment 1, unless you miss a race, of course. Pockets, on the other hand, he's only back by 12 points, and that is possible over 5 races. It's possible for Pockets to make up those 12 points on you. So if you can stay ahead of Gear, only 4 points ahead of Gear, 5 races, that might be a feat. It might be Gear's going to be right there racing. But Pockets, on the other hand, if he makes up those 12 points over the next 5 races, he could be the one that knocks you out of that top 5 and takes that bonus point from you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially with Gear being so close, he does tend to be a faster racer than I do. So, my one saving grace may be Dega coming up. But
I was going to
other
say,
than
that
that,
is anybody's race. Even if Eddie would win that race, he's not out of it by no means.
absolutely. All it takes is one bad race and someone nailing it home. And we've definitely got a capable field of racers. So,
Let's go check out. Let's go move back over to the schedule here. As we said, Richmond coming up. Not this week, but the following week we'll be at Richmond. And let's go take a look at Friday night's Xfinity Series. Also, segment 1. Also, 8 races now into this Xfinity Series. Only 3 races left to go in segment 1 of the Xfinity Series. So it looks like Xfinity is going to be off for the next couple of weeks. I don't see a Richmond race at Xfinity.
Nope, they're off to Talladega.
Yeah, so off until April 24th on Friday night. We'll be back at Talladega in the Xfinity Series. And again, it looks like Mayhem took the pole at Bristol on Friday night in the Xfinity Series. But again, BSR Texan gets another victory, sweeps Bristol in the Cup and the Xfinity Series. Couldn't sweep the week. Hot Rod stole the win away on Wednesday night, but I did manage to sweep Bristol anyway and won both Thursday and Friday night at Bristol. That's a bonus point in each series. Thursday night bonus point, Friday night bonus point for those victories. Let's go over, take a look here at our race results from Friday night's race at Bristol.
And Texan with the win dominated Friday night's race. Mayhem second, Hot Rod third, Gear fourth, and Bubba J rounds out the top 5.
Friday night, looks like we had some green flag pit stops on Friday night. I see only 3 cautions Friday night's race. And we're joined by Eddie D. How you doing, Eddie?
Doing good, guys. Sorry I'm running late tonight.
That's all right, Eddie.
Yeah, it looks like I managed to lead 153 laps. What was that, a 200 lap race?
yes, sir.
Was it 200 laps? Yeah, 200 and something, I think. 200 and it was an oddball number. Like 209 or something like that, I think.
Yeah, it looks like 200 according to all the laps led there.
Yep,
those
200 flat.
Yep. Yeah, I know that that very last run, I know we had a green flag stop on the last run because most of the last half of that race went green flag. And Mayhem, with the short pit, did not have enough fuel to make it to the end. Both you and I, Larry, almost ran the fuel out. And I think you said you were waiting.
I did run out of
it. You see, when I went in,
going down pit road.
When I went in, I still had a couple of laps left to go. I was just waiting for that marker where I knew I would be able to make it to the end without having to pit again. That's the reason I went so long. And I don't know how I had more fuel than you did in that, because that almost never happens. But somehow I managed to, I guess, save a little fuel. I wasn't really trying to save fuel, but it was enough. I just made sure I was going to make it, like I said, without having to pit again. And Mayhem, I think the only reason he actually finished a lap down was because he was running short on fuel. He slowed down so much trying to save that fuel. I think he even let me pass him so that he would have one less lap that he would have to go.
And he was clutching and everything. Remember, I told him it because you remember me telling him that if he pitted, he would probably lose second place. So he knew that his only chance was to clutch and get to the end, knowing that I was a couple laps down behind him. So he had that space. So that's basically what he did.
Yeah, and I believe even with, because he was a few laps short, so even with me lapping him and making it one less lap. He only had to run that one more lap instead of two once I had lapped him. He was still
Clutching the crap out of it.
he was still clutching and about to run out of gas. He barely made the finish. But strategy one way or the other. Strategy on my part, staying out, make sure I could make it on fuel, and strategy on his part by going ahead and going a lap down and not having to run that extra lap, which he didn't have any fuel for. So, but he did hang on to second place, like you said.
Yep, sure did. But you know what? As bad as I ran at Bristol both nights, I finished third in both of them. I'll take it. Absolutely take it. I'm tickle pink with it.
And Gear, I saw Gear just joined us. Welcome, Gear. Good to see you. Gear with the fourth place finish Friday night at Bristol.
Yep.
Handle that lap.
Hey, actually tied. He tied you, Hot Rod. You did not lead a lap on Friday night.
No, that's the lap I ran out of gas. I was trying to. You normally go in with my fuel. You normally go in when the guy comes on and says that you're low on fuel. My guy came on and said I was low on fuel, so I figured, okay, well, I'll run. He's only going to stay out another lap or so. And then you didn't go in. I was like, God damn, what the hell? He normally pits here. He didn't pit. He pitted behind me. He actually pitted a lap after me. I was a lap shorter than you.
Well, it looks like Gear did lead a lap, so he managed to bring home the same amount of points as third place. Both of you brought home 41 points that night, and it looks like we had the same situation right behind you. Bubba J finished in fifth, didn't lead a lap, but Eddie D, finishing in sixth, did lead a few laps, and they both brought home the same amount of points. And look at that same situation right behind that. Big Vito finishing in seventh, didn't lead any laps, and SS Joba finished in eighth, but did lead some laps. They both brought home 37 points. So that's pretty odd that happened that way. You got three different positions there, or six positions that all shared points.
See, I had changed my gear around right before the race, Texan, and I think that's what killed me in the fuel mileage. But
I think I could have got a position or two better Friday night, but well, that speeding penalty demon come out and bit me, and yeah, that's kind of what set me back those couple of extra laps.
Yeah,
so
35 miles per hour is definitely painful.
Yes, and it's dang near the whole track that you have to do that in, because you enter the pits in turn 2, and then you come back out of the pits
in turn
one. So yeah, 35 miles an hour all the way around, while everybody else is running under green flag at full speed. Yeah, you lose at least 2 laps.
Yes, and that's a part of racing. That's make and break you in the pits, even on the big tracks.
So let's go to the standings here for Friday night's Xfinity Series. Looks like I've stretched a little bit of a lead out here on Friday night as well. Once again, Hot Rod in second place, down by 21. Look at that. Gear Jammer with the good finish is third place, down by 31 points. Eddie D in fourth, down by 37. And Palmian rounding out the top 5, down by 44. So Gear Jammer, Eddie D, and Palmian all in the top 5 here. And really, with just 3 races left to go, I think all 3 of you guys are going to manage to stay in the top 5. Bubba J currently in 6th. He's down by 58. So you got 14 points on the next position right now, Palmian. That's going to be tough to do in just 3 races, 14 points.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As long as you don't self-destruct, he'll be fine. Or miss a race, he'll be all right.
Yeah, and this, bonus points are going to matter at the end of the year on where you're going to finish and where you're going to end up in the chase. So being in that top 5 at the end of segment 1, getting that extra bonus point is going to help. Trust me on that one.
Yep, and I don't intend to miss a race, especially not with my kind of schedules anymore.
At Timber.
So Saturday night we were off. We finished up the season 40 of the team series the week prior, and we were off this past Saturday night. There was no race, and I would imagine it'll probably be the same way this coming up Saturday, seeing how we've got Easter weekend coming.
Yeah, there may be a fun run. I'll stop in and see how many people we get, and we'll go from there. If we get enough people, we'll run. If we don't, we'll just throw it off. I had Rugrat sneak in a TeamSpeak, see how many people showed up Saturday night. And she said there wasn't nobody in, so.
Well, let's go over to the bonus points here. Check out what the bonus points look
Joe
like.
was in here.
Oh, Joe was in. That's right. I forgot about that.
So here's our Truck Series bonus points. There's been absolutely no change in these bonus points because we did not race the last week. So it's myself still with a good lead here. 8 bonus points. That victory at Texas with those 3 bonus points, that really launched me up there ahead of the rest of these drivers. Looks like the next closest is Mayhem, Pockets, and Scar. All have 3 bonus points. Then Momo, Joba, Eddie D have all got 2 bonus points, and Bubba J down there with 1 bonus point.
I don't have a single bonus point in the Truck Series.
Well, it's only one segment in this series, so you only got the bonus points for one segment at the end of this, and all we've got left are the Fall Texas race and the All-Star race. Yeah.
All-Star, baby.
Yeah, those victories, they do quite a bit, as you can see in these 3-2-1-1-1 bonus point races. When you win one of those, that 3 bonus points, that makes a huge difference. As you can see, I've now got a 5-point lead over the rest of these guys. I got 2 victories, and that's not counting the Texas win. So I actually have 3. One of them though counted for 3 bonus points. So I got those 2 bonus points there. I got a bonus point in the AK, makes it 3. I got 2 bonus points at Daytona, bringing it to 5, and then the other 3 over there in the Spring Texas race, bringing it all the way up to 8. So these extra bonus point races, if anytime you can capitalize and get a bonus point in one of these, it helps a ton. And then come chase time, if some of these guys don't do something in the Fall Texas race and the All-Star race and win some races meantime, they're going to be starting in a little bit of a hole. Right now, already 5 points down just going into race number 1 of the chase.
I ain't worried about that. I shine in the chase.
Let's check out the...
We got the dirt race in the Truck Series. And yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got Eldora in the Truck Series chase. That's terrible.
Yeah. That'd make me 5 points right there.
We got Super Speedway in there too, though, right?
Yes.
Yes. So there's a couple of races that are just complete wild cards. Yeah. The other 2 series, isn't there
there is a road course in the Truck Chase.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes.
Isn't there a road course in the Truck Chase? So there's
Canadian Tire.
There's one I should have a decent finish at. I better knock on some wood because
Mr. Gear Blower.
Yeah, I'm liable to blow more than just one gear at that track. Let's go to the Xfinity Series points. So those did change a little bit. I picked up another victory in the Xfinity Series on Friday night, bringing me up to total of 3 wins, but only 2 bonus points showing in the winner's box there because the other one was at Texas Motor Speedway once again, bringing 3 bonus points home there. That did move me up 1 more point over second place. So I've currently got 7 bonus points in this Friday night Xfinity Series. Pockets in second place with 5 bonus points. And then we got Mayhem and Bubba J have both got 3. A couple of drivers have got 2. Looks like Eddie D and Gear both in there with 2 bonus points. Momo and Hot Rod both in there with 1 bonus point so far. So
I haven't gotten that bonus point since Speed Weeks in the Xfinity Series.
yes, in the AK Daytona, which also served as the one of the duels, got you a bonus point right there. That's it. That's your bonus point so far in the Xfinity. And over in the Cup, basically same situation here. I got 1 more victory. That's a total of 2 victories for me in the Cup Series. Mayhem still with 3. Actually, Mayhem's got 4 total victories because he also won the Spring Texas race over there. Got 3 bonus points for that. And Mayhem and Pockets are still currently tied for the lead here in the Cup bonus points, both of them with 6. Looks like I'm in second, along with SS Joba, both with 5 bonus points. And then you got Momo with 2, Hot Rod with 2, and Bubba J with 2. And then Palmian in there in the bonus points already in the Cup Series with 1 bonus point.
Yep, I got 2 Cup wins. Won the All-Star or the Speed Week race in the Cup, and won, what the heck, I don't even remember which track I won. But I won one of the races during the season so far.
Hey, you won that AK race
Yep.
Thursday and Friday night, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, good job. And Pockets, of course, with the shootout win, picked up an extra couple of bonus points there. That's what's got him up there tied with Mayhem. Pockets has got bonus points in every one of these extra bonus point races so far, even though he doesn't show a victory in the winner race box, only because the shootout was not an actual regularly scheduled season race. He's still got a bonus point in every one of these other boxes. 2 in the shootout, 1 in the AK Daytona. He got 2 bonus points at the season opener Daytona, and then got another bonus point in the Spring Texas race for the 5th place finish. I think he's about the only one that's really in every one of those boxes.
Yep, I
Well,
believe
yeah,
that's
he
right.
is. Well, he can be the only one because he's the only name in the shootout box. But that's where we stand, 8 races in to the Xfinity and the Cup Series so far this year. Only 5 races to go in the Cup, 3 races to go in Xfinity, and we're not even halfway through the truck season yet before we get to the chase. So still a lot of racing left to do here. And remember, this week, Wednesday night, we will be racing at Orange County in the dirt on Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, we're going to have a fun run at Michigan. So hopefully we get plenty of people to show up, and we'll have a good run on Thursday night since we don't have a Cup race going. We'll get a little practice for Michigan before that comes up, because as you see down here, Michigan is a bonus point race this year. I think we'll come up to the All-Star race before Michigan, but
Actually,
that Michigan race will be a bonus point. So you'll get a little preview of what that Michigan race ought to be like in the Cup Series on Thursday night. And if you need to do any work on the setup, anything you can do to make it a little faster, you'll have opportunity to check that out this Thursday when we run at Michigan. So I think that's about all we got for you this week. We've gone through all the races. We got it off next week for the most part, except for Wednesday and Thursday night. And then we'll be back into racing at Richmond the following week. The Truck Series does run at Richmond, right? I believe it does.
yes, the Truck Series runs at Richmond, I believe. Let me double check to make sure.
Yes, it does. Wednesday the 15th.
Yes, and then they don't run Talladega, so we're back in the dirt Talladega week. And then all 3 run Dover. then the All-Star, then Charlotte. So
Well, we appreciate all you guys tuning in out there, and I appreciate you guys showing up, helping out once again this week. And y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend, what little bit of it's left, and we'll see you guys on the track Wednesday night at Orange County.
See ya.
Vroom, vroom.
later.
See ya.